ओम ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति
ओम
ईश्वरो
गुरुरात्मेति
मूर्तिभेद विभागिने
मूर्तिभेदविभागिने
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः।
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
ॐ सहना भवतु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सहनौ भुनक्तु।
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं।
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
व्यासेन ग्रथितं पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्।
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम्
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्।
यः ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः।
ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति योगिनः।
यस्यान्तन्न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
यस्य न विदुषुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः।
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते
यस्त्राहीनो देवी
दुर्गे
देवी
नमस्तुते।
नमस्तुते
रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टा रुष्टा तु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति
त्वामाश्रितानां प्रयन्ति
सर्वा बाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
त्वया कार्यं विनाशनम्
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे
सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहीनो देवी नमोस्तुते
रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टा तु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्
रोगानशेषानपहंसि
सकलानभीष्टान्
त्वामाश्रितानान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति
प्रयन्ति
सर्वा बाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते
भयेभ्यस्त्राहीनो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते
रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टा तु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान्
रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टारुष्टान्
त्वामाश्रितानान्न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्यश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वा बाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः
योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः
तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः
तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः
स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
स योगी
निर्वाणम्
ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति
ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति
लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः
असः
छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः
छिन्नद्वैतायतात्मानः
सर्वभूतहिते रताः
सर्वभूतहिते रताः
कामक्रोधवियुक्तानाम्
कामक्रोधवियुक्तानाम्
यतीनां यतचेतसाम्
यतचेतसाम्
अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणम्
वर्तते विदितात्मनाम्
वर्तते विदितात्मनाम्
24th verse. Last week we have seen Yaha, a person, Antah Sukha, one who is happy inside with oneself, Antararama, a person who is revels with oneself, Tatha Antah Jyotihi Evayah. One, here the meaning of Jyotihi means mind, one who mind knows. There is a no triplets, there is a no triputi like Bhokta, Bhojanam, Bhogyah, but everything is one and same. It's called Antajyoti. One who minds awake like that. There is a no differences, everything is one. Antahajyotihi, Sahayogi. That person, yogi means one who is a karma yogi, Brahma Nirvana Madhigachati. That person will get liberation. Brahma Nirvanam Adhigachati in the form of Brahman, Brahma Bhuta Hasan. The meaning is one who is in the form of Brahman, that person will get Brahma Nirvanam liberation. And other more traits of Gnani. Rushayaha Brahma Nirvanam Labante Kshina Kalmashaha Brahma Nirvanam Labante Chinnadvedaha Brahma Nirvanam Labante Yatatmanaha Brahma Nirvanam Labante Sarvabhuta Hiterata. There is all qualification of people who has Atma Gnanam. First, Rushaya. Rushaha. Ruchati Janati iti Rushaya. One who knows is called Rushihi. The meaning, other meaning is we have seen Atati. Rushati, Atati. One who is keep on moving. That Rushi. Brahma Nirvana. They will get moksha. Kshina Kalmashaha. Kalmash. Impurities. And Kama Krodha. All enemies are not really speaking outside. All are sitting inside in our mind. Are called Kalmasha. Kshina is destroyed. Chinnadvedaha. Once Dveda means doubts are removed. Chinnaha are removed. Yatatmanaha. One who is the master of their own being. Body, mind, sense complex. And Sarva Bhuta Hiterataha are people who are engaged joyfully for the benefit of others. Hite means for the benefit of all beings. Such people, Brahma Nirvanam Labante. They will get Brahma Nirvanam means moksha. And we have discussed This nirvana word, Bhagavan Buddha has picked up from here. Brahma nirvana. In 26th verse, we were seeing, I think we have seen little bit. Viditatmanam, kamakrodha viyuktanam, yatinam yatachetasam, abhito brahma nirvanam, vartate viditatmanam. These all are kamakrodha viyuktanam, yatinam yatachetasam, viditatmanam, abhitah brahma nirvanam, vartate. First again, kamakrodha viyuktanam, who are free from kama means desire, and who are free from krodha means anger. Yatinam, the meaning of yati means, Shankaracharya is always right, sannyasi. But yatinam, we can take both, either sannyasi or karma yogi, one who is always keeping effort to know oneself. Yatachetasam, one whose mind is under control, one who is the master of one's own mind. Viditatmanam, viditaha atma yesham te, one who knows oneself is called vidita. Vidit means knows, atma means oneself, is called viditatmanam. Such people, abhitaha, meaning will come from both while living also and after death, is called abhitaha brahma nirvanam. They will get liberation. Vartate. There is a liberation. We can translate also. There is a liberation of both way. Here arthate means is. Anvaya is kamakrodha viyuktanam yatinam yatachetasam viditatmanam abhitah brahma nirvanam vartate. These all are in sixth case, but when we translate, we can translate as a four. One who is without free from anger, but here the nam we are not taken as a sixth case, but we are taken as a fourth case. First is kamakrodha viyuktanam. Bhagavan is keep on repeating. This is the third time Bhagavan has said kamakrodha viyuktanam means a people who are free from desire and anger. And we have seen kama is born out of raga. More attachment, more asakti, more desire to keep with them. And krodha means unfulfilled kama. If our desire is not fulfilled, then krodha is erupts. So kama and krodha, they are like a father-son relationship. Unfulfilled kama is equal to krodha. Fulfilled kama is equal to lobha, that we have seen. And generally, people in general, they always under the grip of kama krodha. But these people they are the master of kama krodha. Yatinam. Shankaracharya is written only yati means sannyasi. But I think the meaning of yatinam, he has written first mumukshu. One who would like to liberate is called mumukshu. And one who is a nishchayatmika buddhi. Vyavasayatmika buddhi means one who has chosen how to live a life. I will pursue karma yoga, then I can have chitta shuddhi, then I will do upasana yoga, so I can have concentration of mind, and then I will pursue jnana yoga. One who has chosen their path is called vyavasayatmaka buddhi. These people may be sannyasi or may be karma yogi. Both can have brahma nirvana. That's why Shankaracharya has written only sannyasi, but Pujya Swamiji has written both. Yati means either sannyasi or karma yogi, both will get brahma nirvana, viditatmanam. Yata chetasam. Chetas, really speaking, the meaning of chetas is a buddhi, mind. But Shankaracharya has written the chetas means mind. Generally, Chetas is intellect, but here Chetasa means for those whose mind is under control, one who is the master of their mind. And last one is Viditatmana. Those who knows oneself is called Viditatmana. But how person can have Viditatma? It's given one who does systematic, consistent study of Vedanta for the length of time under the guidance of competent guru. This all are the definition of Shravanam. What is the meaning of Shravanam? There is a systematic study, consistent study of Vedanta for the length of time, for a long time, and the teacher also competent, means parampara teacher. And in this pursuit will lead, this serious pursuit will lead to self-knowledge. And it's called Vidita Atmaha Yena Saha. One Vidita means one who knows, Atma means oneself, by whom is called Viditatmana. Brahma Nirvana is again saying liberation, but meaning is Abhitaha. Here, more meaningful or important word is Abhitaha. So Shankaracharya has written the meaning of Abhitaha means Marananta Purvam. Before death, one who is liberated is called Jivan Mukti. So this is a oneness before death. One who knows I am not separate from Ishvara or Brahman is called Jivan Muktihi. And this Jivan Muktaha Maranat Paschat. After death, that oneness becomes total. There's always one example is used to given. There is a pot. In pot, there is a space. So we used to say there is a space of pot. But if pot is broken, the space inside the pot, it becomes one with all pervasive space. Same way, for Jnani, one who is Atma Jnani, suppose we say so Atma Jnani, that person has also knowledge. And which type of knowledge? I am a consciousness. But right now, I am confined with my body, mind, sense complex. But when body leaves, that body will die. So inside consciousness will one with all pervasive consciousness. It's called Videha Mukti. So first, Abhitaha means one is called Jivan Muktihi. While living, one who knows I am one with Ishvara or Brahman. And same person, when Prarabdha Karma will get over, so that person will get Mukti, is called Videha Muktihi. Only Jivan Mukta we can have Videha Mukti. Videha Mukti. Abhitaha Brahma Nirvanam Ruchati will get Labhante, whatever. Vartate means is, what I told in Sanskritam class. Really speaking, here, this 5th chapter, that subject matter is over. Now, last 3 verses, Bhagwan has dedicated for meditation. Particularly, this is 27 and 28. So before this verse starts, Shankaracharya has written beautiful Bhashyam. So he says now this chapter is over, but Bhagwan has started to give some glimpse for meditation. So Bhashyam, he says, we can start from Bek Ukta. The meaning here I have written, Ukta means already told. Shankaracharya says, Ukta means I have already told what? Tuke Muktihi. Muktihi Ukta. I have told liberation. In which type of liberation? He says Sadyah Mukti. Sadyah means immediate. Many people knows there are two types of mukti. One is called Krama Mukti. And another is called Sadyah. Krama means gradually, one by one. Sadyah means immediate. So how a person can get Krama Mukti? This is it. Mukti is two types. It says all Upasaka, one who is a literally hardcore Upasaka, one who has given their life for Upasana, Dhyana. Such person will get Krama Mukti. Such Upasaka, when that person will die, it will go to Brahma Loka. After death, that person will go to Brahma Loka. In Brahma Loka, he will stay with Brahmaji. And again, that Brahmaji will teach same Upanishad Vedantas Tattvamasi, and having listened from Brahmaji, that Upasaka will get liberated. It's called Krama Mukti, step by step. First Upasaka will go to Brahma Loka. Brahma Loka, again he will study Vedanta, and then only he will get Mukti after that Pralaya. It's called Krama Mukti. But what is the meaning of Sadhya Mukti? Like a person like Nachiketa. And the Guru is Yamadharma Raja. If Yamadharma Raja teaches Nachiketa, then he understands everything. Okay, I am not separate from Ishvara. I am Ishvara. I am a Brahman. It's called Sadhya. Sadhya means immediate. So while living Jivan Mukta, and that person will get Videha Mukta. There is a no in-between place like Brahma Loka. Direct, he becomes with consciousness. One with consciousness. So that's why he says Sadhya Mukti Ukta. I have already told that immediate liberation. And for whom? So Sannyasi Nam, Karma Yogina. Both one who lived a life of Grihastha with pursuing Karma Yoga lifestyle, and there is a sannyasi, one who has given up all responsibility and given to Shastra. For both of them, Sadhya Muktihi Ukta. And both are, sannyasi and Karma Yogi, how are they? How their mind are? It says Samyak Darshana Nishtana. They are committed to see oneness in all. It's called Samyak Darshana. Either Brahmana, Shvapake Shuni. For Gnani, everything is same. It's called Samyak Nishtana. And he says in second sentence, Karma Yoga. A person who follows Karma Yoga, how they can pursue? So Ishvara Arpita Sarvabhavena. He has dedicated everything to Ishvara, and again he has written Ishvara is equal to Brahmani. Here both are in seventh case. Karma Yoga Ishvare Adhaya. Adhaya means offering, having given up all Kriyamana. They have given up all karma unto Ishvara. Then what will, and why he has given up all karma to Ishvara? So he has written here, Mokshaya. For the sake of liberation, Karma Yoga, Kriyamanaha, Adhaya, where? So Ishvare Brahmani. And having lived a life of Karma Yogi, what will happen to them? So he has given steps, Shankaracharya ji. First, Sattva Shuddhi. The person will get Chitta Shuddhi, mind become pure. Then second stage will Jnana Prapti. he will get a knowledge. The last stage is Sarva Karma Sannyasa. Same. Again, Sarva Karma Sannyasa means moksha. So this is the Vishaya of 5th chapter. Here, Sarva Karma Sannyasa is not a sannyasi, but Sarva Karma Sannyasa means either Grihasti or sannyasi, one who knows this is body, mind, sense complex is instruments for me. I am not BMS. I am only consciousness. This jnanam in mind is called Sarva Karma Sannyasa. That person, I may be Grihastha, may be sannyasi. He says that everything Bhagwan Pade Pade Abravit, Shankaracharya ji has said, this Sarva Karma Sannyasa told by Bhagwana, Ishvara, each and every word in this 5th chapter. And even Vakshati cha, Bhagwan will speak in future also in this Gita, how person can liberate it. Only these 3 steps available, Sattva Shuddhi, Jnana Prapti, Sarva Karma Sannyasa. And how Sattva Shuddhi will come, so then Ishvara Samarpit Bhaven. So now this is over. Then what will happen in 27? Atha Idanim. Now, Atha, like now Idanim, Antarangam. That is a internal Dhyana Yoga. The chapter of meditation, Vistarena Vakshyami. Bhagwan will teach this dhyana in detail. Vistarena Tatsya Sutra Sthaniyan. Because dhyana yoga is in 6th chapter. But Tasya Sutra Sthaniyan. This is a brief introduction. Sutra means brief introduction. Upadishati. For the meditation chapter of 6th chapter, in this 5th chapter, Bhagwan has given brief introduction of meditation. This is Pujya Swamiji's favorite verse while in meditation. Sparshan krutva bahirbahyan chakshuschaivantari prabhoho pranapanau samokrutva nasyabhyantaracharinau. These all are steps. Before going into meditation, we have to follow the steps. So Bhagavan says, Krutva Krutva. The meaning of Krutva means having done. Bahyan Sparshan Bahihi Krutva. Keep external object external. Here the means Sparshan means object. They are Bahyan, which are external. Keep them external. The Sparshan means object, because our sense organs goes out and touches different type of object. This the name of object is Sparsha, because it touches our sense organ to sense object. That's why the name is Sparsha, but they all are Bahya, external, Bahihi Krutva. Keep them external only, Bahihi. Keep them. This is the first. Second thing, Bhagavan says here, Chakshuhu cha antare bruho. Again, we have to keep Krutva. Our eye should not roaming everywhere. Our eye should fix between 2 eyebrows. Bruvoho antre chakshuhu krutva. Our eye between 2 eyebrows, chakshuhu should keep, means our eye should be focused between 2 eyebrows. Second thing, nasyabhyantara charino prana apano samo krutva. There are 2 respiratory. Pranaha is exhaling vayu, apanaha inhaling both, which are keep on moving in our nostrils. Nasyabhyantara charino. Charino means moving. Nasyabhyantar, which are moving inside. Samo krutva. Keep them equal. Make them slow. Make them deepen. Krutva then there you have to sit. This is only 2 steps Bhagavan has discussed. It will come more in 6th chapter. This is also Sutra Sthani. So Anvaya is Bahyan Sparshan Bahihi Krutva. So keep external object external. Chakshuhucha, in our eye also, Bhruvoho Antare Krutva. You keep our eye should be focused between 2 eyebrows. Nasya Bhyantar Charino Prana Apano Samo Krutva. Nasya Bhyantar Charino. There are vayus keep moving between 2 nostrils, in which are one is pran, exhaling, apana, inhaling, samo krutva, make them equal. And then you have to sit in meditation. And why Bhagavan has given too much emphasis in this verse? Because it is given, it is not important how much we eat, but important is how much can we digest. This is more important. Same way, in Shastra, it doesn't important how much we have listened, but more meaningful, more important is how much we have internalized, how much we are assimilated. It's called more important. I have written one example, Shruta Brahmana. Having listened this word, it's more fascinating, no? It's look like it's very good word. But for scholars, this is a one type of giving bad word to someone else. If scholars are sitting and they are discussing for someone else, then how is that person? Then that other person can say, it's okay, he's Shruta Brahmana. Meaning is, they keep on listening, but nothing is assimilated. Shruta means they are keep on listening. Same way, there are many Vedantis are available listening. Keep on listening, but nothing internalized. There is a nothing assimilation. There nothing imbibed in this knowledge. To imbibe in this knowledge, Bhagavan has given this meditation. More we detail in 6, but here it says in this verse, Bhagavan has given preparatory steps for meditation. Is given while we sit in meditation. What we are doing in Annaikatti, what we have learned from our Pujya Swamiji, it says before going into real meditation, we have to follow 4 steps. One is called sitting posture. This is first step. Second step is called relaxation of physical body. In guided meditation, first it will come sitting posture. It will also, that shloka will come in 6th chapter. It will come Nasika. It will come. I just forget. Our Shiraha, Griva. In one line is called sitting posture. Which will come relaxation of physical body. Our body should be relaxed. There should be no tension in our joints or muscles while sitting in meditation. So it will be done by guided meditation. How can we relax our body? It will be second steps. Third step will be relaxation of mind. How can we relax our mind? If our mind is in tension, if some is in depression, then nothing will go inside. So third steps is relaxation of mind. And fourth one is concentration of mind. How we can focus our mind for one thought process. It's called concentration of mind. So here 2 are discussed in this verse. Only 2 steps are discussed by Bhagavan. One is 3rd and 4th. This sitting posture will come in 6th chapter. I just forgot that Nasika, Shiraha, Griva is in short one line. We'll say, but relaxation of mind is called Bahyan Sparshan Bahihi Krutva. This line is for to relax our mind. If we dilute, if we go and we try to understand what is the meaning of Bahyan Sparshan, then our mind will be released, our mind will be relaxed. And here discusses concentration of mind. So first we will see Bahyan Sparshan Bahi Krutva is for relaxation of mind. The meaning is to keep external object external. And who are the external object? Not only object, Shastra says, objects are also external. People, more than object, all people inside our mind, always they are living in our mind, is also object. And some situation are also considered as an object. So how them we can keep from our mind outside while we are sitting in meditation? So this particularly not object, but these people are always sitting, which are near and dear, are very difficult to keep them out. This Pujya Swamiji used to say, one person is bored living a life of Gruhastha or fighting with everyone else. He has decided, now I will go to Rishikesh and I will study something Shastras. So he just entered in the train with ticket. Pujya Swamiji says all people with whom he was fighting, they all are coming with him, residing in his mind. He was free of ticket, they all are traveling. So these people never go out. So how can we keep them external? So only one way is given in Shastra is only by acceptance of such people. We can accept people as they are. Only then we can keep them outside. They are not physically, they are inside our mind. They are living in our thoughts and always irritate us. So how can we keep them out? Only one way is just accept. Acceptance is only way to keep them out. And always, while you might have heard Pujya Swamiji or other meditation, I don't know, but while meditation, Pujya Swamiji used to tell, we are ready to accept nature as are. If rain comes, we accept rain. If summer comes, that scorching sun, we don't have any problem. We cover ourselves, but we never complain about the sun. We never complain about the ocean, why it is salty. We never complain why winter is so cold. So whenever nature comes, even when cactus with all thorny, we never have any complaint. So we accept nature as nature is. Same way, if we can accept our people, near and dear one, as they are, with all their mind setup, with all their different type of thinking process, if we can able to accept, then only our mind can be relaxed. This is called Bahyan Sparshan Bahi Krutva. That's why I have written only one word. We can accept Ishvara Srushti as Ishvara Srushti, because Vyavaharik Satta is nothing but Ishvara Srushti. Our dream is our Srushti, Jiva Srushti. But whole with whom we are doing transaction is Ishvara only. So if we are ready to accept Ishvara Srushti as Ishvara Srushti, then only our mind will be relaxed, our mind will be calm, and then only some meditation, what we are doing, it will go inside. So this is for to relax our mind. This is third step. More we will see next chapter. This is only introduction. Then Bhagavan says, Chakshuhu cha bhruho antare krutva. Our eyes should not be see everywhere. Our eye should be focused between two eyebrows with closed eyes, with not open eyes. With closed eyes, our mind should be with between two eyebrows. And best example is Buddha's meditation posture. Always when we see Buddhas with half closed eyes, with smiling face, it's called Chakshuhucha Bhruvo Antare Krutva. Our placing eye between two eyebrows. And it helps to concentrate our mind. More we focus, keep on seeing our between two eyebrows, our mind will be more and more focused. So this is the fourth step of meditation. In Nasyabhyantara Charino Prana Apanau Samahakrutva. In Sanskritam, in meditation, they say Prana Pranau Ikshanam. Ikshanam means you observe, watching. Pranau Ikshanam. Then with Sandhi it becomes Prana Vikshanam. For Ikshanam. You just watch our breathing. More we keep on watching our breathing, more and more our mind will be concentrated. It says while doing meditation, you might have heard all Pujya Swamiji's meditation. If people always complain, whenever we try to focus, our mind goes out. When we try to focus, mind goes out. But if mind goes out and if we know our mind goes out, it is the time of celebration. Because now we can understand our mind is going out. Before also mind is going out, but we don't know our mind is always roaming. But while sitting in meditation, when we recognize our mind goes out, then it is beautiful. Need not to frustrate. Whenever mind goes out, it says, bring them back, bring them back. And again, it says in fourth step, we have to, in guided meditation, we have to give that guidance. You keep watching your breathing. Prana Vikshanam means you just keep watching your breathing, and while watching your breathing, mind will goes out. If mind will go out, bring them back. If it will goes for 1,000 times without frustration, bring them back. Bring them back. The day will come after months, maybe depends upon our mind capacity, but time will come while sitting in meditation, mind won't go out. It will stay with us. But this is the best. Mind goes out, again bring them back. Again you join for in this observing this prana vikshanam. My prana is going out, is exhalation, and apana is coming out. And again, this both is should be samo krutva. Samo means keep them equal. It should be very slow, slow breathing, deep breathing. It's called prana vikshanam. This is also very helpful in focusing. In 6th chapter, it will come shanehi shanehi. Our mind will come shanehi shanehi uparamet dhrutya buddhi gruhitaya. Slowly, like a child, we always pamper the child, and slowly the child will come with us. Same way, our mind is like a child. Slowly, we have to bring them back. It's called Prana Apanam Samo Krutva Nasya Bhyantaricharin. And what is that? Was only this, no? Yeah. So this is only this Bhagavan Sutra Sthaniya. It just gives the glimpse. This will come in 6th chapter. Krutva. And who are doing this? Then Bhagavan has given these people. This meditation is doing by these people in 28th verse. Yatendriya mano buddhihi munirmoksha parayanaha vigatecha क्रोधः यः सदा मुक्त एव सः. Again, there are many names. Yatendriya Manobuddhihi, Munihi, Mokshaparayanah, Vigatecha Bhayakrodha, Yaha, Saha, Sada Mukta Eva. The meaning is one whose mind, one whose intellect, and one who is a master of both organs of actions and organs of senses, one who is a master. Munihi, one who is contemplate, one who has a capacity to contemplate. Munihi, Mananat Munihi, Moksha Parayana, one who is given to moksha, one who is committed to moksha is called Moksha Parayana. Vigat Ichha Bhayakrodha, from whose mind this Ichha Bhayak Krodha has gone. Vigataha. Such person Sada Mukta, he is ever liberated. Saha eva Sada Mukta. This is like summary Bhagwan is doing. Same wordings Bhagwan is used. Yatendriya Manobuddhi. So first is Yaha Munihi Yata Indriyaha Manaha Buddhihi Moksha Parayanaha Vigata Ichha Bhayakrodha Saha Sada Muktaha eva. So these all are qualification of Jnani. Saha Sada Mukta. One who has done long time for Nididhyasana. In meditation we will see, but still Dhyanam, for two things. I will show you. When we say meditation means Dhyanam, two type of Dhyanam. One is called Jnana Yogyata Prapti. Jnana Yogyata Prapti. And another is called Jnana Nishtha Prapti. The meaning of Jnana Yogyata means to prepare our mind, to qualify our mind for Atma Jnanam. Is called Jnana Yogyata Prapti. And we have already got Jnanam. If we have all knowledge, to assimilate this Jnanam, to reside, to assimilate Jnana, this after Jnanam is called Jnana Nishtha. Another name is Nididhyasana. So now Bhagavan is telling about is not for Jnana Yogyata Prapti, but for Jnana Nishtha Prapti. Just this is a yes Chandasam Rishabho, there is a Shanti Pata. It says one who does chanting, that person will get Jnana Yogyata Prapti. And Aham Rukshasya Reriva is for Jnana Nishtha Prapti. One who are really interested, Jnana Yoga. Even Rudram, I think 9th Anva, what was this? So, now 9th Anuvak of Rudram. Namas Shavaya cha Rudraya cha Namas Tamraya cha Arunaya cha Namas. Is this also, it says if you do Anushtanam, you will have Jnana Yogyata Prapti. Your mind will ready to receive Jnana. So here the mentioning the names Munihi, Yata Indriya Manobuddhi, one who is already Gnanam, one who has gone through all these steps. First saying, Munihi. Munihi means again a person whose mind is ready to contemplate for one topic for a length of time. It's called Munihi. Yata Indriya Manobuddhi. One whose mind, intellect, and both Indriyas, sense organs and organs of actions, he is a master of all four. So Indriya, it will come organs of action and sense organ. Manaha means mind. Buddhi means intellect. Yataha means master. One who is master of all these four. Moksha parayana. One who is given to only moksha. There are many goals in everybody's life, but somebody asks, what is your goal? And one who says, I would like to know myself, is called moksha parayana, whose ultimate goal is nothing but moksha only. There are people, they say, my ultimate goal is become a sannyasi. Somebody says, my ultimate goal is to become a great cricketer, whatever. But there are people, he says, I'm not even interested in sannyasa, growth, anything. I'm interested only to know one myself. It's called moksha parayana. In such people is vigat ichha bhayakrodha. In such person's mind, three things. They are free from three things. Ichha is desire, bhayaha is fear, krodha means anger. There is a no ichha, then there is a no chance of krodha. If we have desire is not fulfilled, then krodha will come. No? So where ichha is not there, krodha won't come. And one who has jnana, he doesn't have any type of fear. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it comes, na bibheti kutaschaneti. That person is never afraid with anyone. So it's called vigat ichha bhayakrodha. A person who is free from all this ichha bhayakrodha. In according to Pujya Swamiji language, one who is emotionally matured, one who doesn't have any type of problem, mental problem, emotionally mature, such person, that person, sada means always, mukta, he is always liberated. Now he will get liberation, is not like that, he is always liberated. Now last shloka is remain, we will see tomorrow. Any question? Any question? Anybody would like to ask? I cannot hear you. Anybody?
I think we are in meditation.
Okay. Now next chapter is beautiful about meditation.
Swaminiji, one thing, the 9th Anuvakam you were talking about.
Namasomaya cha Rudraya cha. Yeah,
Rudraya. That is one priest came to our house and he said that is the middle of all the Vedas. So it is so powerful to chant that. In that Anuvaka we
Namashivaya. Panchakshari.
Shivaya cha Shivataraya cha.
Yeah.
That Namah Shivaya cha is the very specific
mantra.
Middle of everything. So it's very powerful chanting that. That's what he was saying.
You see,
So,
if somebody chanted 60,000 times, no, it's given with some, that person definitely.
Only that Anuvakam or
only that
the whole
Anuvaka.
thing?
Only that Anuvaka, 60,000. With some specific, some tapas, that person will definitely get jnana. Is written.
So that commitment to the chanting, Swaminiji, even if this is just for understanding and discussion, even if that person does not have the samatva buddhi and other stuff, the chanting will give them jnana. That
No, that mind will ready to accept jnanam. It's a jnana yogyata prapti. This anuvaka will give jnana yogyata. Then
Yeah.
when we listen even one time, no, then jnana will come. It
Yeah,
make
it's
us,
basically getting the mind ready, and then
jnana.
I guess if one has the commitment to chant 60,000 times, the automatically mind will become
Yeah.
mature.
There is a no, there is no desire then after that. I don't want anything. Everything will come automatically then. More we desire, nothing will come. If you give up everything, everything will come.
That's the paradox of Vedanta.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you said before, like, don't chant mechanically.
Yeah.
And then I see a lot of people who are actually really taking the effort,
Mm.
but they may inadvertently be doing it mechanically. I have always thought about that. Not I'm passing opinion, I'm just observing for myself.
Yeah. It's very difficult, Even they say with a total awareness of mind, it is very difficult to chant for even 1 minute also. Japa.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah,
a
I mean,
is
no. Swamiji, go ahead. Sorry.
so I was this Upanshu jap, no? It's not only from mind, but we have to chant first Upanshu, murmuring little bit. Then it will help more.
And not meaning not full sound, but actually just a
It's
little
called
bit of
Upanshu.
murmur.
Yeah, it's called Upanshu japa.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's called Upanshu. So with that meaning, our mind is with that sound, then it gives more focus, more concentration. Yeah.
And in the lot of the Shaivite saints, Swaminiji, they have made it very easy for sadhakas and said it's just enough to chant Namah Shivaya. The Panchakshara is enough.
Yeah.
And if you can constantly keep it going in your mind, you have this alertness and awareness so that
Yeah.
when you are faced with the situation, that Namah Shivaya comes and reminds you that, that alertness comes because you are constantly thinking of the Panchakshara in your mind. And even when you are not saying it, the japa is going internally. The Namah Shivaya, Namah
It's called
Shivaya, Namah
ajapa
Shivaya.
japa. Without knowingly, that chanting is going inside. If we chant too much, then we never keep to put any effort. It will automatically, naturally, it happens inside. And it gives very strength to us, our mind. Mind becomes strong.
Because you become what you think. That is my understanding, Swamiji.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
you are
very
constantly chanting Namah Shivaya, you
Yeah.
become Shiva. I mean, that
Mm.
that is the, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but
Now, what you think, so you become always.
yeah.
What we think, so we become. That's why Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is started upasana of Hanumanji. He developed little bit pucha. So he becomes Hanumanji.
And he used to jump around, right? Like,
Yeah. In Nima Karoli Baba, you might have heard the name. There is a one person,
yeah.
Nima
Yeah.
Karoli Baba. He has also developed little bit. He is a 100% devotee of Hanumanji. Even nowadays, I'm just, analysis something. So there are 3 type of people I have seen. One are common laymen, lay people. They are not. There are some people, they are interested too much in Vedanta, but they are not devotee. There are many people, they would like to keep all yogas and keep their body fit. But I have seen all 3 type of people may have depression. All I have just, they are not happy. Their body are fit, but they are through emotions, they are not fit.
Mm. Mm.
Same way, there are many people, they know Vedanta. They can teach our Mandukya on and through, but they are taking depression tablet. They show me also. Now I'm taking this tablet. So what is the use? So I'm thinking without Ishvara, without making Ishvara in our life, Vedanta never bless. Because our mind is not ready to grasp this all. So people are just devastated without Ishvara. Totally. They don't know how to do. They say, I'm without any direction, where to go. Even these Vedanti people, these old yoga people. So without Ishvara, life is very difficult. When challenging situation come, no, then they don't know how to handle it. So that's why Puja Swami, now I understand, having made different type of people, they all are in depression. I don't know why. All are happy, all are rich people, still they are depressed. Because they are not have any relationship with Ishvara. They also chant some Hanuman Chalisa or something, but they have never developed any relationship. They never love Ishvara.
Yep.
You should love Ishvara.
Yeah, there is a beautiful Upper Swami has written Sudhakarji. It says, Appan ni, Ammai ni, Ayyanum ni, Anbudaya Mamanum Mamiyum ni, Oppudaya Madarum One Porulum ni. He says basically he lists everything that we value in life, and he says everything is you. Right from father, mother, wife, children, wealth, education, everything is you. So he has that ability to see Shiva in everything, and that is what I always think, Swamiji. It is such a wonderful relationship to have with Ishvara.
Otherwise, we cannot manage our life. Very difficult. Even sometimes I thought, even without Vedanta, if you love Ishvara, no, he is good enough. Sometimes Vedanta gives arrogance, but Ishvara, if relation with Ishvara,
you end up intellectualizing it
If you have intellectual
you have to
exercise.
internalize.
Yeah. It's an intellectual exercise. And Vedanta is only for such people.
I think this Bhajagovindam starts with that, right, Swaminiji? It says, Dukarin Karane, like you're so 80 years old, you're chanting mantra. What is it? What are you doing?
So basically, as you told before, we should start the day with everything is yours kind of thing to Swami, to the God, and then end the day saying thanks. Whatever happened, it is because of you, it's yours. The results. That's how we should
So every time if you are performing some activity or some karma, need not to offer to Ishvara. One morning we do sankalpa, whatever I do, it will be for you only. And the end of the day,
I tried. It's very difficult, Swamiji. It's very difficult.
It's difficult, but slowly we can,
Yeah.
Long way to go.
I mean, as soon as you get up, the first thing that comes in your mind is Om Namah Shivaya, and when you go to bed, you say Om Namah Shivaya. And then as much as possible throughout the day, like when you're waiting in the queue, in the grocery stores or whatever, those are good times
that comes actually. I usually say Jai Jai Shankara, Hara Hara Shankara. It comes automatically.
Yeah.
But I don't have any focus or anything. No concentration, nothing.
Need not to focus also. It comes, no? It's good. Otherwise, without focus, how can it come out?
So I thought I should know. I'm saying Jai Jai Shankara, Hara Hara Shankara, thinking of God. That is, I don't get that. It just comes because of the practice or something. I don't know. Even Sudhakar says, oh, okay, are you listening now? He asks. That's how it comes. Automatically it goes inside me, but I'm not focusing that I'm chanting and thinking of God or not like that.
You know that Robert Walia, Valmiki, before Valmiki, he was a robber, no? He doesn't know who is Rama. He says, Mara, Mara, Mara.
No, Maram, yeah,
Still he becomes a Valmiki Rishi, you know.
yeah.
It's the same way, unknowingly, if we are chanting, it is always helpful. Nothing wrong. So shall we do Purnamada?
There's some sloka, I mean, some story maybe, Swami, that that person had the maturity to pray to God. Even if we don't understand you, I want to love you. I think that is ultimate, no? Even if I don't have the intellectual capacity to understand, I want to
Yeah.
be in love with you. I think there is no more understanding. If you have that attitude, you have understood it.
Yeah.
It's very ironic.
This is
Yeah,
ultimate.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
This is ultimate.
I mean, like Paramahamsa says, what kind of understanding do you have of your mother? Do you intellectually understand your mother?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have the most intimate relationship with your mother, but
Mhm.
you don't analyze her intellectually and, you know, figure out her characteristics, attributes. You don't do none of that stuff. You just love your.
That is the problem of the mind. The problem of the mind is to put everything in ontology and taxonomy, right? That's
Yep.
why
Yep.
the Dvanta comes. Good, bad, I hate, love, whatever. Anyway, Swamiji, we are delaying your dinner as usual.
No, no. Now I used to, like Matangiji, I used to take my dinner before sunset.
Another mother.
Yeah.
So shall we do Purnamada? Still holding.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9:33.
Thank you.
Om
Om
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Evavasishyate
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti.
Hari
Shri
Om
Gurubhyo
Shri
Namaha.
Gurubhyo Namaha
Hari Om.
Hari Om